Hey guys, Chuck here, KK6USY for Ham Radio Adventures, and today we are going to talk about GMRS radios. And I've got the Retevis RA85. Let's check it out. Okay, as a disclaimer, Retevis did send me these radios for a review in return. I still will give you a totally honest review. I'll tell you what I like about the radios, and I will tell you what I don't like about the radios. So let's just go to the site and show you what this radio has to offer. Okay, so just so you know, there will be a link to the Retevis site here, the one we're looking at right now, in the description down below. This is the RA85 5-watt long-range GMRS handheld radio. The regular price, list price is $62.99. Right now it's on sale for $46.99. It's 60-channel GMRS two-way radio. It supports the NOAA weather channels, and they come in pretty well. Also has FM broadcast channels, and that does actually pretty well also. Dual display and dual standby. Now down here, you see this is the GMRS radio, and they have a ham band radio also. The picture looks the same. I think it's basically the same radio. I think the difference in the two radios is the GMRS is actually got the channels, 1 through 60. All right, let's look at the overview. Here's a guy up here. It says all out of the same things. He's out camping. Looks like he's having fun. A couple pictures of the radios. They're showing you going through the city here, which in the city with these buildings, probably the range is not going to be great. And I did test this thing. I got my wife. She was a trooper today. She's sick, but she got on the radio with me to help me show you guys what the range was. And it's not scientific test, and I have a lot of hills in my area, so the distance was not great. Not the radio's fault though, but we'll show that later. That was just showing your weather channels. Now this thing does charge USB. That has this USB A to C, and the C plugs in the back of this charger. The charger actually has a charge light on it that goes from red to green when it's charged. Now you can also, and we'll see later in the book, you can also take that USB-C and stick it in the side of the radio here and also charge the radio. They don't really say much about that, but I've tried it and it works. It says it has a 1.6 inch LCD display, which is pretty easy to read outside. I did notice that when you scan that the light stays on all the time, and there may be a way of turning that off. They're showing right here, they're showing you the FM portion. All right, we'll go to the spec sheet. The spec sheet, it tells you GMRS, 60 channels, frequency steps, just your normal stuff that you would find in your book. And you can go to the site later and look at it yourself and see if this is something you might want to purchase for yourself or for your family. That is the nice thing about the GMRS is you actually just buy the license. Right now it's $70. It's supposed to go down to $35 at some point. And that covers your immediate family members. So it's one ticket for all. And then it comes down to your features, timeout timer, box, low battery indicator. And it will tell you that by voice, which is kind of hard to understand sometimes. SOS alarm. Weather channels again, your FM broadcast again, automatic power saving function, and it also has a flashlight on top. Now for support, firmware and software, you have manuals. All right, so I've downloaded the handbook for this thing, and it's in English. Okay, here's the book for it. It comes with this. You don't have to go to the internet and get it like this, but this is just an easy way for me to show you. And it goes through all the different settings here. And just like the other parts, you can come online here with the link below and check all this stuff out for yourself closer if you want to. So here's your radio. You get your antenna. Now that is one of the things about this radio I don't like. If I was to buy a radio for GMRS to go out, say as an extra radio to my 2-meter and my CB for off-roading and my 4Runner, I would want something that I could take the antenna off so I could put at least a mag mount on top of my 4Runner, which would get the antenna outside and up higher and a better antenna. So it kind of fails me right there, but it's still a good radio, I think, for most people. Most people aren't going to do that, and they just want, people to people someplace. So you have antenna, you have your TX, RX light, your mic, All the numbers down here, the screen, the speakers in the middle here. You have a push to talk button. You have a side button 1, side button 2. I'll show you those functions later. You have your earphone jack on this side and the programming cable jacks. And I was telling you about the USB charge. You pull this open here and you can charge it by USB. One thing I do like about this radio, it tells you the channel and it tells you the frequency. I kind of like that. Up here shows you all your different status indications. And they have a list of them all here. It tells you exactly what everything is. I'm gonna let you guys check that out. Now here's a big a big thing that people don't like a lot of times. If it belt clip attaches to the battery, people don't like that because you have to take it off and switch it. This one attaches to the radio. And the battery clicks in with a pretty good click. I'll click it in for you. Okay, so that's positive, you know it's clicked in. A lot of people like that also. And it's just showing you the headphone jack down here, and that's your programming cable going there. Now it has your stand, like I said. I'm pretty sure you can put the battery in by itself if you have a second battery. And the battery indication lights is 4 different things. You have 0, which means it's insufficient, and the low is 1, middle is 2 bars, and high is 3 bars. And those do work. Now on the receive, I'm not sure if the receive, where was that up here? This one here, up here where my icon is, my pointer. I don't know. I know on the old Baofangs, if you got a signal from somebody, it was always full. This one I'm not sure, and I haven't had a chance to test that. And it just tells you all the different things, what each side key does. Side key 2, same as side key 1 with short press and long press functions. We'll look at some of that. And these are all your steps for your frequency mode here, it says. TX power, you have high, middle, and low. It does say that on the radio if you look at that chart up above. One of the things I really liked is it gives you, down here, it gives you all the channels, all the frequencies. It tells you what the power is for each channel, and these are all programmed in, and I did check them, and they are all correct, just like it says on the thing from 1 through 60 here. So when it says 5 watts, that radio set it high. Now that's the other thing I won't be able to test because I can't take the antenna off, so I won't know for sure if it's 5 watts or not, or 4 watts or whatever, but we're assuming that at least it's high and low. Okay, and it just goes through your RF energy exposure guidelines and stuff here. The guide for that, for two-way radios. Tells you not to throw it away. That's pretty normal in the garbage. Okay, there's like 17 pages here. So that should do it. You guys can check this out on your own if you go to the link that I provide in the not the comments, but in the description down below. All right, so here's the box it comes in. All right, and in the box, you get your manual. All right. I'll give you a little picture of the inside of the box there. So you have your charging unit, your belt clip, your charging cord, and in that belt clip there's also a little handle thing that hooks to it, goes around your, like a wrist deal that puts it, you can put it around your wrist to hold it. All right, so here again is the radio. Okay, on the side here you have your, that's your push to talk, and your two buttons. They do different things. And on this side you've got your that's your headphone jack up there. Got a USB-C. There you go. Like I said, you can charge the radio with that. You got your knob on the top and your antenna. Like in your antenna, like I told you guys, the antenna does not come off. That's the one thing I really don't like about the radio. But for most people, it'd probably be fine. And you got your switch to turn it on.
Welcome. Channel mode.
All right, you got your channel mode. If you look in here, you got your, there's your panel. Got menu, up and down buttons. You got your exit, 1, 2, 3, 1 through 10. Your pound, which is your lock button. If you hold that down, it locks it. Right here.
Lock.
And hold it down again.
Unlock.
Up here, right there's your scan button. Hope you guys can see that. Just throwing my camera off here. All right, you have your A and B, and your, up here, if you push this button here. Hard to do this backwards.
Reception mode.
frequency mode,
Channel mode.
channel mode, and your A and B. All right. Now if you hold this button down here, so you just push the button, the top one here, turns the light on. It's a decent light. Push it again, it turns it off. Push this one. This is the second one down here. Here. Sorry, guys.
On.
Terrific long short curve. Expected to peak through the mid-morning before tapering off through the afternoon. A beach hazard.
Okay, then you push it again.
Potentially dangerous conditions.
On.
Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News
Sounds pretty good.
1069 and AM 740 KCBS.
Off.
So then you turns it off. And then you can see, you guys can see, maybe you can't. There we go. If I turn it like that, you can see the screen a little bit. Got a lot of, okay, so it's pretty easy to see. It has a scan function, so let me push the scan. You push and hold the scan.
Scanning begin.
And it says scanning beacons. Gosh, there we go. You can see the number on the top there moving. So it's going through. It's not super fast, but it works. And to get it out of scan, you just hold it
Scanning stop.
and then let go, and it says stop. What else do we have? Here's the battery. And let's pull the battery out of there. So you push this button here, and the battery slides out. And there's a picture of the battery. And I think it said 1800. Yeah, 1800. It looks like it has a little bit of a seal. It's not a rated radio for anything like that, but it has all your FCC information inside. And like I said before, you just push that
Welcome. Channel mode.
in, and it works. I guess I should have turned that off first. So here's a little size comparison. There's your Bofang right here, and then the Retevis here, and that's UV5RA. So pretty close if you look at the, you know, about the same size, about a ½ inch taller, about the same weight. Now if you look at the for you guys that want to see what this thing looks like here, if you look at the plastic, it's very similar. I'd say about the same quality of plastic, which is not bad. It's okay. So right up here is your screws for your bell clip. And like I said, that's on the radio, so it stays on the radio. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a little test with my wife here. She's going to help me out. The first test will be, well, first of all, we're using this Retevis radio that they sent me. And first test is going to be in front of my house, so it should work. So let me test this. WRNX 272. Do you copy?
Copy, loud and clear.
Okay, she says copy loud and clear. I'll turn that up for the next time. Okay, guys, test number 2. I'd say about a ½ a mile. There's a hill between me and my wife, but then also I'm above her, so we'll see if this works. WRNX 272 testing. Kathy, do you have a copy? Ooh, this is not good. WRNX 272 testing. Kathy, got a copy. All right, that's not good. Like I said, there is a hill between us, so I'll go back to that hill and try her again. Okay, guys, so I've got a little small hill between me and my wife at the house there, but we're up above her quite a ways, so we'll see what happens. I did just pick up that repeater that I couldn't, well, I didn't try it yet, but I couldn't hit it earlier from my house, but I may from here, so I'll probably try that in a minute also. WRNX 272 testing. Kathy, do you have a copy?
Copy, loud and clear.
Okay, copy loud and clear, she says. Okay, thank you. Test complete for here. WRNX 272 clear. So, now, let's see if I can hit that repeater from here. There's a hill between me and it also. There's hills everywhere here. If this doesn't work, I may move up a little bit and try it again. WRNX 272 testing the repeater Is there anybody there that could give me a test back, please? So I did hit it. So I hit it. I'll just see if anybody comes back to me. So that's about 11, 12 miles from my house, air miles. All right, so this is about 2.5 miles. I'll check it out when I go home. It's a pretty straight shot to my house down the valley. So let me try it. Make sure I'm on one. WRNX 272 testing. Kathy, do you have a copy? Well, that was her. Didn't make out anything. All right, thank you for the test. WRNX 272, completed test. She probably didn't hear me, so she may come back to me. I could just barely make out her voice. So, I didn't expect it to work here, tell you the truth. Line of sight, there's trees, buildings, all kinds of stuff between me. There's an overpass. But to actually have her hear me was pretty good, I think. All right, I think that's good enough. One of these days, if I can get it out someplace where it's a better, clear line of sight, then I'll do some longer range testing. So, who is this radio for? Well, for me, not having the replaceable antenna is kind of a big thing, because I would want to use this in my 4Runner, like I said. I may have said this earlier. And I'd like to actually have an external antenna on my 4Runner, maybe on a mag mount. I mean, maybe not permanent. Or actually, tell you the truth, later on I wouldn't actually mind having a mobile radio in my 4Runner. So that would take care of that problem anyhow, plus get a little more power. For most people, this would be a good radio. I mean, if you're going to go to the theme park, or out camping someplace, and you're, say, like, for instance, I go to the ocean. My son-in-law takes the grandkids over to the ocean. It's just, a couple hundred yards away or something like that, less than a mile. And he's like, hey, could you bring me some extra chairs or some extra towels or something like that? That'd be great for stuff like that, camping, and maybe go to your car, from car to car if you're traveling with a bunch of cars. You say you got 3 or 4 different cars and you want to have communications. A radio is a lot faster than your cell phone, really. If you need to tell somebody something really fast, it's way easier if you have it handy. So all in all, pretty good radios. Are they the best? Probably not the best. I think it's kind of a rebranded HF radio, tell you the truth. I did go in and test to see if it would. I went on 146.520. It will not transmit on 146.520, so it's not supposed to. But basically, if you saw the pictures of their HF one also, and I think it was the same picture, but I think the radio is basically the same radio. And this one's set up for GMRS, that one's set up for HF. So hopefully you got something from this video. I hope it helps you guys out. Help you make a decision. I do think these are better radios than probably your bubble packs that you get at Walmart or Kmart, wherever, at Target, or those kind of radios. I think they're easier to use personally. These come out of the box ready to go. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit the all button, and that'll give you all my future videos that I do. And go ahead and hit that like while you're at it. This is Chuck, KK6USY, for Ham Radio Adventures. Be safe, y'all. Hopefully catch you guys on the airwaves, and maybe on a GMRS radio sometime. 73's all.